Welcome to part 2 of property parameterization. And if you remember, right at the end of part 1, we were mapping the columns on our flat file destination. Okay, and so I'll say OK there. And so what I want to do here, notice we have a parameter on this of AdventureWorks DW 2012 as our initial catalog. And that's the default in there. And so what I'm going to do is just go test this and run it and make sure that it works. And also this will create our text file. And if I didn't fat finger anything, then we should be successful here. And then this will produce, and then we'll go run this a time or two and play with our parameterization. Okay, and so there's p-test. Now I'm going to grab p-test and drag it and pin it onto the start menu. Okay, so there it is, and I can call it up and notice that we pulled from AdventureWorks and we got Kristen Lee. Okay, so I will close this now and go back in, and I want to make sure that I told this to overwrite. I'm pretty sure we did. Yes, overwrite data in the file. And so now what I want to do is go to parameters and let's change this value to VTC DW. All right, and then we'll go back to our data flow, and actually let's just go to control flow and do this. So we'll go to control flow now. We changed our parameter. All right, I need to stop this from the previous one. Let's go look at the parameter that I changed. So we're now going to pull from VTC DW. So let's go to control flow, and we will run the package. And this time it's going to run against the different database, VTC DW. And so we'll see here, since we've got an identical table with an identical destination, identical query, we'll go to p-test now, and you will see that it now dropped to VTC DW mark long. Okay, so the only thing we're changing is this parameter, right? This one right here. So I'll choose AdventureWorks DW 2012, and if I typed that correctly, go back to control flow, run it. Whoop, I got to stop it from the previous one. And run it again. Now later on I'm going to talk about deploying these packages, and once I get it deployed out to the SQL Server, if I can remember, I'll go back and run this one. I'll deploy this one and run it. Notice it's project 9, okay, so remember that, and I'll deploy that and run it, and you can see the parameter in action when you execute it. So we'll click this one, and sure enough we're back on AdventureWorks 2012. Keep in mind, the only thing that we did here, let me go into this thing and edit this. We simply worked with the connection string on this, and you don't see the connection string right here, but let me stop this from the previous execution. Let me go into the data flow, and let's right click here, and I'll show the advanced editor, and I think let's see, the connection manager, no, component properties, pardon me while I talk to myself just a second here. Now, I was hoping to show you something a little different, but I don't want to confuse you by going too far here. So anyway, notice what happened. Go through this a time or two. We parameterized the initial catalog. And again, the way we did this, we right-clicked on the connection manager, went to parameterize, and then we worked with the initial catalog. Now, we could work with any of these other things: username, server name, password, name, the username, connection string, all sorts of things could be changed. But we changed the initial catalog, which is the database. Hope this makes sense. Look for parameterization all over SSIS and just play with it the same way.